Hey everyone, this is Friedel Hacker AJ Raven. I'm here with my recap and review of Plot, season number 4, episode number 3, which is titled Ambition, if I remember right. So, this episode actually opens up with Desna inviting one of the representatives for the company that she noticed in the previous episode called um, what was it? I can't remember the name of the company. Something called Lusty Ambitions or Lust something something. So basically, Desna wants to understand how that business model works, and she's like, "So this is a pyramid scheme, right?" And the representative is like, "No, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's multi-level marketing where we host parties in order to sell product, and then we uh, encourage people to join us, and then I'll be the team manager, and then I'll get a commission for every sale that one of my team members make." And yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. So Desna is like, you know what, we can do this for our business as well. We can recruit people to sell our pills to other people, and then we'll just sit back and make money. And Jen is like, you know what, Desna, you're always thinking. Let's do this. So Polly decides to go and meet Axel. I think his name is Axel, right? Axel? It's a good name, Axel. So they're kind of on a date and they are connecting quite well. And yeah, while they're talking, Ken walks in and Polly is like, what the heck is it, Ken? She's still using her fake British accent. And Ken is like, Polly, I need to ask you something. Can I ask Desda about a raise? And Polly is like, this isn't the right time, Ken. And he's like, why? Because you're on a date with this old guy and yada, yada, yada. And he's like, he can't treat you like I treat you and all of that stuff. And yeah, the old guy, Axel, his name is Axel. So Axel doesn't appreciate Ken's tone, and he's like, you know what, this isn't any way to talk to a lady. And Ken is like, ooh, a lady. And Axel stands up, and Ken is like, okay, so you're going to fight me now? And Axel is like, yeah, I'll fight you. I really will fight you. And they do have an altercation where Axel ends up using his walking stick in order to knock Kenneth to the ground. And Polly is like, you know what, Axel, this is enough blood pumping for today. Let's just go. And Ken is still on the ground. And yeah, this is where we are introduced to a new character. Her name is Selena. And yeah, I can't remember the actress's name. She's also in the new Gossip Girl reboot. I do like her, and yeah, she is a transgender actress. So I was like, are the writers going to explore that aspect of this character as well? And it turns out that they do in the upcoming episode, which I'll also be recapping and reviewing. But yeah, she kind of has a connection with Ken, and I'm like, you know what, Ken, I'm okay with Ken moving on from Polly. So let's see how things with Selena work. So we cut to Bryce, and Bryce is very, very happy because Bryce has ended up finding a person to sell the fentanyl patches that he got in the previous episode. And he's like, you know what, they want all of it, so I'll sell it and we'll make a lot of money. And he just wants to impress Uncle Daddy, and Uncle Daddy is kind of proud of Bryce. However, Quiet Anne is like, wait, are you sure? Are you sure that the person that you're in contact with isn't the police? And Bryce is like, no, 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 I'm sure, I'm sure. And I'm like, Bryce, really? So we cut to Jen and Desna. They're at this bank called We Bank. I think it's supposed to be pronounced We or something. But yeah, it's We Bank, and basically they give loans to people with bad credit because I guess they want to keep people in debt forever. So he is like, you know what? Because Desna's credit is way too bad, I can't give the loan to her. However, Jen, if you end up teaming up with Desna, then we can give you a $1 million loan. I think it's $1 million, right? Or maybe it's $100,000. I think it's $100,000. It can't be 1 million. I could be wrong here. So he's like, we have like a markup of like 25% and it fluctuates. And Desna like, does it fluctuate down or up? And the guy doesn't answer. So yeah, Desna is going to be in that. But Desna is like, you know what, Jen, I think we should do this. Even though we are going to put up our house, our cars, everything as collateral, we have to do this because this will give us the power to start our own business and all of that stuff. So Jen, are you in? And Jen is like, what the heck, Desna? Let's just do this, and the sign the loan paper. And I'm like, oh, you yeah, you better be ready for something bad to happen. So Bryce ends up meeting his contact, who is this woman, and she's very interested in the fentanyl patches because she has this commune that want to go on a trip or something, and she also tests the patches first. And Bryce is like, "Yeah, you can test it. It's good. It's authentic, and you won't be paying right now." And the woman is like, "No, I won't be paying right now. I'll send you the pin. Bring the patches there, and then I'll give you the payment." And Bryce is like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll do that." So Ken is walking outside and Desna rolls up and Desna is like, "Ken, I've got the money. Did you put in the order for the pills?" And Ken is like, "Yeah, I did, Desna. They'll come here tomorrow." And Ken doesn't necessarily appreciate Desna's tone because he's like, "Desna, you could just say thank you, right?" And Desna just ignores him. And I think, yeah, one of the reasons that Ken didn't like working with Uncle Daddy is because Uncle Daddy didn't respect him. And you can see Desna going down the same route. So she goes back to her salon, and Tony, the delivery man, is waiting for her outside. And Tony is like, "Hey, are you free? I want to hook up with you." And Desna's like, "Yeah, I'm busy." He's like, "What the heck is happening in the salon?" She's like, "It's just a late night meeting, but we'll meet each other soon, okay? We'll meet each other soon. So go away." And this is where we get to see that the meeting is basically her pitch to a few people who she wants to recruit for her company, Claws Up. And Claws Up is also a hashtag on Twitter that the show uses and the fandom uses. So we get this presentation, a very funny presentation with Desna, and how she's like, "This is an opportunity of a lifetime. You can make a lot of extra money if you guys work with us. And are you in?" And yeah, the people are like, "Yeah, we're in, Desna. What do you have to do?" And Desna ends up dividing everyone, and she's like, "You know what, Kim? You target the housewives. Bambi, you target, who was Bambi targeting? Something I forgot. But yeah, it's basically like every person has a particular target, and yeah, if they make the target, they're going to make money and all of that stuff." So yeah, but Desna ended up bringing people into the pyramid scheme. So Desna is hooking up with Tony, and this is where she is like, "Hey Tony, are you happy being a delivery man?" And he's like, "No, I'm not." And also, before they do talk about that, while they're kissing, Tony wants Desna to open up because he wants to get to know her better, and Desna has a few walls up, understandably. But yeah, Tony is like, "Hey Desna, you need to open up to me." And this is where Desna and both of them talk about their profession and what they expect to do later down in life. And yeah, Tony is like, "I won't be a delivery man forever. What about you?" And this is where Desna is like, "Yeah, I guess say it's the same for me. I'm planning something." However, she's like, "I do have an offer for you. How do you feel about making some extra money if you end up delivering some of my product?" And Tony is like, "What's the product, or what do you want me to deliver?" And Desna is like, "You know what, I'll let you know in a bit." So, yeah, we end up going to one of Quiet Anne's classes that Dean is accompanying her for. And yeah, this is where we get to see Linda Hamilton from the Terminator movies show up. It's so good to see her again. And yeah, Linda Hamilton is the one who is instructing the class, and she talks about the placenta. And this is where she's like, "Placenta has some bacteria in it," and Dean is like, "No, no, 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 that's a lie. According to the research that I've read, the placenta doesn't have any bacteria in it." And Linda Hamilton, her character's name is Eve, and yeah, Eve, or else I'll end up calling her Linda Hamilton again. So Eve tries to make Dean realize that no, the research hasn't been updated. The placenta does have some good bacteria in there, and Dean is like, because that's just how Dean is. So we cut to Desna and Jen. They're working the numbers, and they're like, "Okay, so we are making money. However, it looks like that Kim is a bit short." And Desna's like, "How short, Jen?" And it turns out that Kim owes them $500, and Jen is like, "You know what? It's okay. It's only $500. She'll give it to us the next time." And Desna's like, "No, that's not how you operate a business. I need you to stand up. I need you to talk to Kim and tell her to give the money back." And yeah, Jen is like, "Really, Desna?" And Desna is like, "Yep, you need to put your foot down." So Jen goes to talk to Kim, and yeah, it turns out that Kim has certain domestic issues with her husband, who likes to gamble, who likes to steal money. And yeah, for the $500 were stolen by her husband, and Kim is like, "I'll pay you guys sooner." And Jen is like, "I guess I understand that, Kim." But yeah, Desna is there, and Desna pushes Jen to be more authoritative with Kim. And yeah, Jen is like, no, Kim, you owe us $500. We need that tomorrow. And Kim is like, oh, okay, okay, I'll do that. And then we get a scene where Anne and Uncle Daddy are like, you know what? Because they saw Ken working for Desna in the previous episode, they're like, you know what? We have to handle Ken. And this is where Quiet Anne is trying to pick up a couch to put into the van, and Ken comes in and he's like, you're pregnant, you shouldn't be lifting heavy things. And Uncle Daddy comes in and I'm like, yep, Ken is being kidnapped, right? And that's exactly what happens. So Bryce goes to talk to his buyer, and yeah, we get to see her commune, which is basically kind of a cult, very cultish vibes, and Bryce thought that they were hippies or something, and she pays him a stack of money, and she's very happy for the patches, and she's like, "Thank you, Bryce. We'll be going on a trip." And I just knew it. I just knew that something bad was going to happen because the trip that these people are going to go on, it's dying. So we get a scene between Eve and Dean, and yeah, Dean apologizes to Eve because he's like, you know what, the research that I read, it wasn't updated. So it turns out that there is bacteria in the placenta, and these two have a moment, a connection, and Dean really likes her. Dean is like, how old are you? And Eve is like, I'm 63. And Dean is like, well, I like your face. Would you like to hang out with me? Would you like to share drinks with me? And Eve is like, yeah, I like that very much. Then we get to Axel, and he ends up bringing Polly to this charity event, and Polly is kind of happy to be there, but this is where she also notices that this charity event is for the people who are terminally ill. And Polly is like, Axel, does that mean that you're ill too? That you don't have a lot of time left? And yeah, Axel is like, yeah, I don't. I only have like a few years left. And the thing that really worries me is what will happen with all of my money. Will it, after I die, will it be used to help other people? And yeah, you could see the bolts, the bolts and the wheels churning inside Polly's head because she's like, yep, this is my moment. I can really swindle all the money away from this old man, huh? Then we cut to Ken, and he's being tortured by Uncle Daddy because Uncle Daddy is like, you know what, you're working with Desna. I don't like that, Ken. I don't like that. Then we get a scene between Jen and Desna, and they're talking about how Desna is handling the business because Jen is like, you know what, Desna, you're being way too authoritative. You are trying to control everything, and we need some breathing space. However, before they can continue their conversation, she gets a call, and yeah, it turns out that during one of those close up parties a person OD'd, and Desna, Virginia, and Jen have to run there in order to handle the situation, and they are able to save the person by using a defibrillator, and it works, and I'm like, you know what, that's exactly, yeah, I was kind of expecting something like this to happen because you are hosting parties where you are trying to sell pills to other people, and of course, someone is going to OD, and that's what happened. Then we cut to Polly, and this is where it turns out that Axel has children. He has three children, and we get to meet his daughter. And yeah, Polly doesn't like that, and the daughter doesn't like Polly because the daughter can see through what Polly is doing, and she's like, you know what, Polly, I'm not going to let you ruin my chances of getting my dad's inheritance. So whatever you're doing, I need you to stop. Then we cut to Georgia and Virginia because she doesn't necessarily know how to paint nails well. She is messing up, and yeah, Virginia doesn't necessarily. Yeah, she isn't also necessarily allowing Georgia to try much. Even when she makes a simple mistake, Virginia steps in and asks Georgia to go away so that she can continue painting the client's nails. And Georgia doesn't like that. Georgia is like, you know what, you are controlling me. You aren't letting me make my own mistakes, and you aren't allowing me to learn, Virginia. And I don't appreciate that. So Kim walks in, and Jen is like, okay, Kim, so you have our $500. And Kim is like, no, I lost all of the money because my husband took it. And this is where Desna and Jen are like, you know what, we have to handle this situation. We have to handle the situation between Kim and her husband. Then we cut to Bryce, and Bryce is just happy to tell Anne and Uncle Daddy that he ended up selling all of the patches and making a lot of money. And this is where he's like, those people were planning to go on a trip, and Anne is like, "What kind of trip, though?" And Bryce is like, "It's something about." Something about going up, and yeah, Anne is like, "Oh no, it's a debt cult," and Bryce is like, "What?" Yeah, nothing seems to work out for Bryce, and they have to run because if all of those people die with the fentanyl patches still on them, the patches could be tracked down to Uncle Daddy and Quiet Anne, and they can't have that. So we go to Kim's house, and Jen and Desna have planned to steal some stuff that belongs to her husband so that they can sell it off and they can make some money, and also they can give money to Kim for a cozy little nest egg. And yeah, Jen is trying to be supportive of Kim because she wants Kim to make her own decisions, while Desna is trying to control Kim when it comes to how she should be handling the situation with her husband. And these two kind of have an altercation between each other because Desna is like, "Okay, Miss Jen, so you're the one giving relationship advice, huh? How many relationships have you stacked up?" And Jen is like, "Well, at least I didn't marry someone I had to kill." But yeah, they're like, what? We have to ask Kim what she wants, and they're like, "Kim, are you ready for this?" And Desna's like, "Say yes, Kim," and Jen is like, "You need to let Kim say those words herself." But yeah, Kim is like, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's just sell my husband's stuff and get the money back." So Anne, Bryce, and Uncle Daddy, they go to the location where the woman's cult is located, and yeah, all of them are dead. All of them are dead. But Quiet Anne is like, "You know what? We need to hurry up. We need to take off the patches, and these people are dead. We can't help them, but take off the patches." So Virginia goes to talk to Georgia, and she apologizes to Georgia, and she is like, "You know what, Georgia, I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you're frustrated with me. It's just that I wanted you to do well because I'm the one who hired you, and because of how Desna has been acting, I thought that if you made a mistake, it would blow over to me, and Desna would be angry at me, and I didn't want to handle or deal with that." And but yeah, these two end up coming to an understanding, and Georgia's like, "You need to let me make my own mistakes, and you need to let me learn, Virginia." And Virginia's like, "Yeah, I'll let you do that." So we get this very interesting scene where Ken ends up talking to another version of himself, which is basically the version that his mother wanted him to be if he ended up going to medical school and all of that stuff. And yeah, this version of Ken ends up telling the original Ken to find some courage, stand up to Desna, stand up to Uncle Daddy, and also move on from Polly, which I understood because I think it's time for Ken to move on from Polly, in my opinion as well. So as Desna, Jen, and Kim are about to exit the house, this is where Kim's husband comes in, and he's like, "What the heck is happening?" And this is where Desna is like, "You know what, Kim? It's now or never." She hands her a golf club, and she's like, "Kim, go to town." And Kim, yeah, Kim does that. She ends up beating her husband with a golf stick. And one of the neighbors calls the police, and the police come in. However, instead of arresting the husband, they end up arresting Kim. And Desna and Jen decide to go and bail Kim out, but before they can go into the police station, Kim and her husband come out, and Kim is like, "You know what? It's all good now. I was bailed by my husband. Necessarily, I wasn't even bailed because he retracted the charges, he dropped the charges, and yeah, we're good now. And he even promised to stop gambling." And Desna and Jen are like, "Kim, you know that he's lying, right?" And Kim is like, "You know what? I need both of you out of my life because you have been trying for months to ruin my marriage, and this is all your fault." And Kim, similar to how a whole lot of people, especially women in similar situations, yeah, they go through the same thing where the husband comes in, he apologizes, and they feel that they have to forgive the husband, and they continue giving their husbands a chance after chance after chance, and yeah, I feel sorry for Kim. So this is where Desna and Kim are like, not Kim, Desna and Jen. They're like, "You know what, Desna, we shouldn't have involved ourselves into Kim's predicament. Look where that got us." And yeah, these two have another argument about how Desna has been controlling the entire situation with Kim, and how Jen wants Desna to back off a bit. And Yeah, Desna's like, but we are running a business, Jen. We can't back off. We have to have an iron grip on our employees, and why can't you understand that? So yeah, again, more arguments. So Bryce tries to make things calm with Anne and Uncle Daddy. He's like, you know what? Even though those people died, we were able to take away the patches, and we were able to make a whole lot of money. So that's a silver lining, right? And Uncle Daddy is like, you know what, Bryce, my boy, I can't continue working like this. So, Anne, what you got? So, Anne is like, you know what? What we need? We need a team that we can really trust. And it turns out that Anne invited her group from prison that she knew over the past couple of years, and now Anne is going to work with these women in order to sell their stuff and all of that. So this is a team that Anne can trust, and Bryce really feels left out. So Tony goes to Desna's house and he's very impressed with her apartment. And this is where Desna is like, okay, Tony, about the job that I wanted to offer you to make some extra money. Are you ready for it? And Tony is like, but will you be telling me about what I'll need to deliver? And Desna is like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just deliver my product and I'll give you the money. And Tony is like, okay, okay, I can do that. So we get a sweet little scene between Dean and Eve where they connect with each other. And this is where Eve is like, you know what, Dean, when you were talking about the placenta, I could see the passion really flowing out of you. And I think that you have a knack for this with the entire birthing process and the maternity process. And Dean is like, you know what, might as well try that. So Ken, after having a conversation with himself and being able to pick the lock of the cage that he was locked in, he decides to talk to Uncle Daddy and Desna, and this is where he's like, Uncle Daddy and Desna, I'm putting my foot down. So Uncle Daddy, I'm going to continue working with Desna, and I need you to be okay with it. And Desna, I need you to increase my payment for by 5%. And Desna's like, what the heck, Ken? And even Uncle Daddy isn't happy. And but yeah, Ken is like, you know what? It's because I know my value. I have realized my value, and both of you need me. So if you don't want to work with me, then fine, I'll just go find another doctor to work with you. And also, he kind of threatens both of them. He's like, you know what? I snitched before, and I'll snitch again. Against both of you. So Uncle Daddy and Desna don't necessarily have any other option, and they're like, you know what, Ken, we accept your terms. And I'm like, you know what, threatening Desna and Uncle Daddy, maybe it will come back to bite Ken later down the road, but let's see. So as Ken is making his way out of the clinic, this is where he ends up meeting Selena again. And yeah, he's like, Selena, would you be okay going on a date with me? And Selena is like, yeah, yeah, I would be okay. So the episode ends with another argument between Jen and Desna, because again Jen is like, Desna, you're being way too controlling, and you're being way too strict. But Desna is like, but Jen, that's how businesses are operated. You and I need to be on the same page, because you are too soft, Jen. You are too soft. You're trying to be everyone's friend, and that just won't work. Either you be soft and be everyone's friend, or you be a gangster like me. And Desna walks off, with the episode ending with a shot of Jen behind the glass door, and we get to see Jen contemplating what Desna just said to her, and the episode ends here. And yeah, if I end up doing a written review this for the Geekery, the link to my review will be down in the comment section below as soon as review is published. I enjoyed this episode. I am enjoying the final season of Claws, even though I'm disappointed that this is the final season. At least I'm having fun with the story and the episodes that we have received as of yet. So yeah, let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys soon with my recap and review of episode number 4.